Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. It's early as all get out today, and I'm up in. It's raining outside, and you can see the rain. And I don't know why I'm up in this rain. This is coffee. Take a sip. So we're up trying to get ready for this race that we're about to run. What's going on, Keisha Bowie? How are you? And I don't know why I signed up for it. It's 10 miles. 10 mile races longer than 3 or 4 miles. Kick my butt. Well, actually, 6 miles is the number after which I start feeling uncomfortable. But I'm gonna do the whole 10 today and get it in. What's going on? Fardon and Shanice and Euphrasia and Donnie D and Kia Russell and Danielle Bailey and Shonda Craig. Good morning. Emailed your assistant about the P.O. box to ship your products. Okay, great. Mina, John, Lamont, Madge, Corey, Demario. What's happening, Joseph and Craig? Okay, so anyway, let's see. Somebody says, loving your journey to health, says Keisha. Thank you, Keisha. I'm loving it too. It feels really good to get in shape, even though I was pushed into it. I got to give this lady credit for that. So I let her sneak. I snuck her on camera just now for 1 second, but I'm not going. I don't really put too many of my relatives or loved ones on camera that often, because I kind of feel like, you know, it can be awkward for them. Especially some of y'all out here crazy. Y'all know how the black community is. You know y'all get like about a 1%, 2% super crazy ratio. Like Negroes that just hate you because you doing better than them, and they want to kill you, and you don't even know who they are. So that's kind of the darker side of pseudo fame. I'm not even gonna say it's fame. I don't consider myself a famous person, but you know, I guess if you have you know a few 100,000 followers online, it must mean something. I don't know. But anyway, let me get it cracking real quick and tell you guys the gist of why I'm going live as we go get ready for this race. As you know, there's been this very interesting thing going on with Charlamagne the God. You know, Charlamagne from the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne is he's dealing with what could be the fight of his life. You know, he's got some allegations against him from a long time ago, where there's a lady who said when she was 15 some things happened that weren't supposed to happen. You know, and he did plead to a charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, I guess, by giving alcohol to the girl. I think Charlamagne was about 20 years old at the time, 21 maybe 22. And the charge was there was no rape charge. There originally was, but then the witness didn't cooperate, and the charge, that's when they charged him for, you know, giving her the alcohol and all that. And so, you know, recently, in case you weren't aware, in case you weren't following, the young lady, Jessica Reed, came back and said, I want to reopen the case, you know, and you know, because this is what happened, and I didn't participate because my mother told me not to press the charges, which, you know, I mean, I don't know why her mother would tell her not to do that. I don't know if, you know, she saw that as protecting her from the scrutiny of the courts or what, but they protect minors pretty good. Maybe not so much in the South. Maybe in South Carolina they don't. But anyway, she wanted to reopen the case, and the South Carolina Solicitor's Office came right back and said, we're not going to reopen this case. We are not going to, you know, they're not. They said we're not going to retry anything. She didn't cooperate. And when the witness doesn't cooperate, it's impossible to win a case like that. And so anyway, I will say that I believe that, you know, the reason the young lady came back out and said what she said is because Charlamagne did an interview with DJ Academic where he was talking about it, where he brought up the charge. He'd written about it in his book, and you know, and he just, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he might have referred to her as a crazy bitch, which, you know, is that the best use of language? Probably not. And I think that probably triggered her to kind of come back. You know, the internet's kind of full of clapbacks. You know, people don't just go away. You know, if you make somebody upset or cut them off or whatever, you know, if they have a platform, they can come back and say things, then they're gonna do that. You know, I've had it happen with me, so I can imagine what Charlamagne must deal with. You know, I've seen what guys try to jump him on the street because he wouldn't bring him on the Breakfast Club. You know, there's a lot of jealousy. But in this case, I think that she was probably hurt, you know, by his words. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, you know, I can't vouch for what he did or did not do, but I will say this. Last night, because you know that I've worked with Charlamagne, I've been on the Breakfast Club, I forgot how many times. And I knew Charlamagne back when he did the Wendy Williams show. And I will say, I can only say this. All I know how to say about him in terms of what I've experienced with him is that, you know, the interaction's always been positive. He's always been very, you know, polite to me. I know also that that he is responsible for a lot of the conscious people that you see on the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne reached out to me about, or actually, sorry, he didn't reach out to me. Louis Farrakhan's people reached out to me about getting the minister onto the Breakfast Club, and I made the connection. Tariq Nasheed reached out to me about going on the Breakfast Club, and I connected them. And I just did it because, you know, I know all these people, and I was like, sure, I can tell you who their producer is, you know, and that was it. That's why Louis Farrakhan was on the Breakfast Club, and I thought it was a profound thing for him to bring Louis Farrakhan on the Breakfast Club. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dr. Wesley Muhammad's been on the Breakfast Club. You know, a lot of people that really should be on there. And Charlamagne, I think, is the driving force behind that. But that does not mean I can vouch for everything that he might have done in private. I don't know what this man is like in the bedroom. I don't want to know what that man's like in the bedroom. I don't want to know what any man is like in the bedroom, unless somebody's telling me a story, right? I don't really, you know, I ain't gonna be there. Last night, you know, because, you know, I had done a video kind of giving my 2 cents on it, because people were asking me about it, and I don't, you know, most stuff I'm not gonna run away from really talking about it. You know, some stuff I can't, if it's petty or, you know, too ridiculous. My manager forces me to stay away from it. Even though you want to talk about things like if somebody says something that's not true, whatever, but she's kind of like, you can't respond to everything. But in the case with Charlamagne's situation, you know, I know that I've known him over a decade, and people were asking me about it, so I was like, well, I'll just tell you what I know and what I think, and that's it. So basically, he texted me last night, and he just said, you know, he said, hey, peace, brother. I saw your video, because he saw the video I did, I guess, a couple of days ago. He said, you know, I was wondering, he said, I think he said something like, you know, maybe you could share this article with your people or something. So it was an article, and it's right there on my Facebook page. You can read it, it's down below. And the article says, it talks about, you know, the case not being reopened and how they're not going to reopen the case. And so I think everybody should just kind of know that in addition to everything else. I will say that I don't know if not reopening the case necessarily means that he would be off the hook, because I think that in today's day and age, it ain't really about the court of law anymore. It's really about the court of public opinion. And so the court of public opinion, you know, can be pretty brutal, and sometimes rightfully so. You know, like we think about, like now the digital age, you kind of have a lynch mob sort of mentality, but lynch mobs are not always bad. They're not always good. Lynch mobs are only bad when they're wrong. You know, like like sometimes lynch mobs do justice when the police won't do justice, right? Like, you know, like in a town, think about it. Imagine if you had a child molester down the street, and the cops weren't going to do anything about him. Well, the lynch mob might be the ones who go get him, right? But at the same time, lynch mobs are also the ones who have gone after people when they were innocent, or when there wasn't enough evidence or whatever. And so, you know, in Charlamagne's case, I'm not going to tell people how to judge that particular thing. I can only talk about my interaction with him and what I've seen, but I can't speak to what another man does in the bedroom. It's kind of like that stuff with Russell Simmons too. You know, when that stuff went down with him, I was like, look, I don't know nothing about what Russell was doing in the '90s, so you know, I can only talk about my interaction with him when we've talked and when we've worked together on things, but I can't speak to what his life was like back in the day. And I don't know if that sounds like I'm not, you know, supporting. It's not that I'm not supporting. I support the truth. You know, I support what's fair, and I think that, you know, the thing is that, you know, with being in the public eye does come with a price, and the price can be additional scrutiny, things like that. And I think that these guys are good enough at dealing with it. You know, they're grown men. You know, Charlamagne. One thing about Charlamagne's brand is that Charlamagne is very, very aggressive in terms of, you know, saying what other people won't say, saying stuff about people that other people might not say, you know, really kind of pushing the boundaries. And I imagine that when you do that, you're gonna make a lot of enemies. And so I think that's coming out a little bit too. I think also what's gonna really probably give him some problems is that, you know, he did the other interview where he talked about, you know, the Spanish fly, some Spanish fly situation. He had sex with a girl and gave her Spanish fly, and she didn't feel that she was raped, apparently, like, at least according to him. He said she felt like, you know, she's like, well, she didn't remember what happened though, and she said, well, I'm glad that I had sex with you. You know, how do you interpret that? I mean, I guess, you know, you can interpret it how you want. You know, people get drunk and they don't remember what happened, but I guess the question became, did she know that that you gave her Spanish fly? Did she know what was going on sexually? I think that's the part that becomes kind of sticky. And I also think overall, you know, men and women have to be careful in this environment. I think women have to be extremely careful about whatever situation you go into with a man. Most mature women I know are very thoughtful about, you know, like, okay, these are some situations I'm not going to go into. I think there's kind of like a nonsense feminist narrative that you can kind of do whatever you want and there should be no consequences for it, and that's just not how life works. I think that that's silly to think that you can just go and get super pissy drunk and everything's gonna be okay. I don't think that's smart, you know, for anybody that feels that doesn't want to be victimized. Like, I would never go into a place where I had a pocket full of money and then get so drunk by myself that I don't know where I'm at. You know, I would probably expect to be robbed, you know. And I think that, you know, so I think that that's a conversation people have with their daughters if they're smart. Now with your sons, I think you got to be cautious because obviously, number one, your son should be taught, you know, not to assault a woman, like, or anybody, right? We know that. But then also your son should be taught to be cautious about, you know, who he lets into his life, who he lets into his bedroom. You know, there have been false allegations out here, and we do live in a world where a lot of people would just believe whatever somebody says. You know, somebody goes in the bedroom and they say, "Oh, I got raped," and there's no evidence. It doesn't matter. It's like somebody's word, and that's a very dangerous environment where somebody can just say something and it's just going to be treated as if it's true. You got a lot of liars out here. You got a lot of people out here that will say things, that will use their power to get revenge on you, to attack you, and you know, it is very scary. You know, so as a man, if you got a son that's going off to college or whatever, you got to really talk to him about sex. You know, like, I don't know if it's a matter of getting some text messages, you know, from the person, you know, documenting that they're interested in sleeping with you. You save all of that, whatever, you know. Like, I can just tell a real life story. You know, I met a woman a long time ago where, you know, I was very nice to her. I've always believed in, you know, being respectful to a woman that you are intimate with. I just think that that's like kind of standard protocol, is what you're supposed to do. And she, you know, liked me a lot, and the problem was it wasn't a good fit. I just didn't really feel like she was a person for me. And I remember, you know, kind of just saying like, look, I can't, you know, I don't really want to see you anymore, you know, so please don't contact me anymore. And I remember she was really, really mad, really upset, and trying to win me back, you know. And the way she was trying to win me back was, you know, through suggestive messages, pictures, you know, stuff that, you know, just, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't got to just spell it out for you. But she would send me all this stuff all day, so the emotions would go. I really, honestly, in hindsight, feel like she might have been bipolar, because the messages would be really angry one minute, like, I hate you, you're a terrible person. Then the next minute would be, you know, hey, why don't you come over so I can do blah, 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 right? And I remember thinking, I need all this documentation, because if this person goes back and says, oh, Boyce Watkins raped me, you know, whatever, just to do it, just to say it, there would be people who would just believe her just because she said it. So I kept all of that stuff. I kept, you know, and I think, you know, just in case, it was like, my God, like I was really scared. Like I really felt for one of the few times what, you know, imagine, I mean, I'm sure women go through this more than men, where, you know, you have somebody that just don't want to let go, or a crazy person who's just like, you belong to me, I own you, you know, you have no right to leave me, and they won't let you go. Like they really feel like you're their property. That's a very scary place to be for men or women. And I think that what's unfortunate is that we believe that it can only happen to women. We believe women are the only ones who go through situations where a man, you know, is like, you know, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna kill myself, and, you know, just crazy stuff like that. But men can go through that too. And there are lots of men I've seen who've been terrorized, you know, maybe by a disgruntled woman. Like you know, that new Tyler Perry movie, was it Acrimony, where he talks about there's no hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And so sometimes you might have somebody who's scorned, male or female, who's just like, no, you can't do this to me. And when a person is in a situation where they've been hurt that bad, maybe it's a re-triggering. Like maybe, you know, like I'll tell you what, you know, ladies, if you have an issue with your daddy, like if you hate your daddy, you probably need to get therapy, because it's easy to trigger. Someone like that's easily triggered, you know. So if she really hates her father and really feels like her father abandoned her and all this other stuff, that means, you know, you break up with her and she feels like she owns you. She's really, in her mind, going back to what her daddy did. So ultimately, you know, you got to get therapy to get past that, but some people don't. So what happens is, when a person gets desperate, when they get really desperate, they use whatever tools they have to make your ass pay for it. They either going to get you, they're either going to try to convince you to come back, or they're going to try to make sure that you regret the day you were ever born. One or the other, right? You know, they say, remember that Martin Lawrence movie, there's a thin line between love and hate? There really is a thin line between love and hate. Sometimes a person says they love you, but they really don't care about you. Like they love you, but they don't really, they love you the way, is time to go?
I'm thinking I'm gonna park up there.
Okay. So you might have somebody that says that they love you, but they love you the way a person might love a possession, or like a car. Like if I have a car and I'm like, I love my car, that doesn't mean I really care about the car. That just means that I'm happy that I have a nice car and it makes me look good. And if you take my car, then I'm going to, you know, kick your ass, right? So a lot of times people love their mate like they are a possession, like they're an automobile. Like, wait a minute, you're taking away this thing that I believe belongs to me. You're taking away this thing that I love so much. You're taking away this thing that I need. I need my car to get to work every day. Like I need this man, or I need this woman, and you're taking that person away from me. And so it's like, it ain't really, you know, so their behavior, they might say, I'm doing this because I love you. Like I'm going to kill you because I love you. Or the reason I got this gun to your head is because I love you. But that ain't really love. We know that. We know that's not love. That's territorialism. You know, that's possession. That's somebody acting out their pain. And what I have found, and this is where everybody got to be careful. I'm talking to all the sane people in the room. I ain't talking to the crazy people. I'm talking to the people that are sane, that want to be decent human beings. Is that, you know, you got to look for that. A lot of times you'll see signs of that behavior early and you might miss it. Like if somebody's like super possessive and super jealous about every little damn little thing, that ain't love. That ain't love. That is not somebody who wishes the best for you. That is not somebody who wants you to be happy. That's somebody who wants to own you. And when you start seeing that kind of behavior, you got to distance yourself from people like that, because when they get upset, they're gonna use every ounce of power they have to come get your ass. Like that football player. We can walk up there if you want. Like, are you able to register me? Okay, all right. So like that football player that plays for the Cowboys. I forgot his name. But there was the white girl who was trying to say that he beat her and all this other stuff. And unfortunately for him, he had witnesses who heard her say, you know, you can't break up with me. You're a black man. I could get your black ass arrested and ruin your whole career. Well, she loves him. Why would you want to ruin his career? That ain't love. That ain't love, right? But it's possession. It's possession and ownership. And so, you know, for the decent men out here who would never harm a woman, I'm talking to the men who would never hit a woman, never, you know, do anything underhanded to a woman. You have some women who are like, oh, well, wait a minute. I can say whatever I want and get this nigga arrested. You can't tell me you ain't seen somebody thinking that way. You can't tell me you ain't never heard somebody act like, well, I could just call the police and say he beat me. Or, and there, you know, and there's people crazy enough to do that. There's women out here crazy enough to punch themselves in the face and then go tell the cops that you did it. And then you sitting there like, but nobody saw me punch her, so why are you arresting me? They'll be like, because you're black. You know, because you're black. And this is for your son, this is for your brother, this is for any man that you care about. You got to warn him. You can't just be out here doing whatever with whoever, because you know, it only takes one crazy one to kind of mess everything up. And so basically, I'm not talking about Charlamagne's case though. I don't know what happened in this case. This is kind of the thoughts that came up, but it's just kind of like, generally speaking, you just got to be careful. So anyway, so here's what happens when I go to like a run race. Usually when I get here, there's no black people here. So I'm gonna turn the camera so y'all can see. So there's country music playing in the background from a big truck, and there's not a black person within a 100-mile radius. But I'm still gonna run anyway. And I'm going 10 miles today. My God, in the rain. Tell me I'm not an idiot right now. I do see one black lady. There's one black lady working here. And so I'm gonna tell you guys how it goes today. Let me see. Some responsibility of love, or some versions of love, is toxic and unstable. Absolutely. Archery says, God bless you, this is good. Fanny says sick. Bill McGee is watching. Hey Bill. Them dudes love white women. yeah, I think that, you know, I think that what brothers have to understand. Hold on for 1 second. Is there anything I have to do? You need me to pay the money? Okay, I got something in here. If you can pull it out.
You have cash money?
Yeah, I know I need to be the one who brings the cash, because you don't never bring any cash. She's like, oh, I have a credit card. You know they can't take a credit card.
For one.
Did you?
Are you running as well?
Oh yeah, I'm running.
It's 60 each.
Oh, each? Okay.
Yes.
You're not registered? Are you registered?
Registered, that's for me.
Oh, wait. Oh, so you're not already registered? Okay. You know what? This is all the cash I got. Is that enough? Oh, here we go.
Another 20 spot there.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, so we're straight.
Good to go. Thank you.
See, I got to bring the cash.
Come on over this way.
Somebody got to plan ahead. What?
You have a credit card.
Oh, they do have a credit card.
2018.
Well, you know, but no, the last race, remember, they didn't have a credit card machine. Yeah, you gotta prepare for all possibilities. Are those the shirts we get after we're done?
Oh, you get them right now.
Oh, I'll take my shirt today. What size?
Medium, large.
I think I'm large. Yeah.
Let me get you your bag. I'm gonna get a medium and you'll just need it.
What time do we start? Is it 7:30?
7:30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh? How old am I? 47.
Just walking around, okay.
This is true, but that's not what happened here. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. That you're absolutely right. Thank you. I mean, well, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say you're right about that. I'm saying you're right to say what you said. That that because I brought up that experience that I had. What's it? Oh, the shirt. Okay. Just because I brought up the story about what happened to me, that doesn't mean that this is what happened to Charlamagne. Give me a second. Okay, so outside here.
I told Tiffany
Where am I at? I'm at a race. I'm about to run.
That's fine. Just one.
I'm about to run 10 miles today. Tell me what's wrong with me.
Okay, so you're going on this issue.
Oh, I gotta put my jacket on.
Right name on the back of your
So I'm putting on this thing because it's raining. What I've learned about run culture is people are real serious about this. Like the real runners, like they will run rain, sleet, snow, or hail. Like it doesn't matter. They ran a race. It was 7 degrees, and there was like 100 and something people that showed up. Okay, so we're gonna wait in the car.
Have a good race.
Yeah, thank you. What are we doing out here in this rain?
It's gonna clear up.
Yeah, of course it will. Donnie D. Hey, Donnie D. Tava says, Dr. Hugo. So my friends are very supportive today. I'm just wondering why everybody's up so early in the morning. Tell me what you're doing up this morning. Are you working on your dream? Are you up at the plantation? Like what are you up to today? You just up with the kids, watching Saturday morning cartoons? Remember, they don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore. I guess everything's on YouTube, so Saturday morning is not a big deal anymore for cartoons. Remember waking up for Saturday morning cartoon? That was like the biggest. Like that was an event. That was like the Players Ball. That was like the event of the year every week. Anybody else remember Saturday morning? Tell me if you remember Saturday morning cartoons. If you don't, that means I must be like old now. Let's see. Nisi says, "Be safe." Thank you. Treva says, "Enjoy." Eric says, "I'm hoping that you opine on the McCoy story." You have to brief me on the McCoy story. I can Google it, but I don't know anything about that. I apologize. Hey, what's going on, Keisha? Reginald says 10 miles. And I thought 5 was great. I know, I thought 5 was great too. 10 miles is like...
You can do it.
I'm gonna give you the evil look that women give to men when they having a baby. Like you put me through this.
You'll be fine.
You told Hardcore to beat me. Lonnie Falk. White people use credit cards. No, black people use credit cards too. Black people probably use credit cards too much. Be all up in debt and everything. Huh?
Card points.
That's right. Yeah, you use your credit card a lot, don't you? Is that Tina Jackson? Hey, Tina. Best run is when there's a mist. Well, the good side of it, Tina, is that it's not as hot. Like when you're in the heat, that can be pretty. The heat itself can be. Here, open it one more time. Thank you. The heat itself can be an obstacle to completing the race. Okay, so Arthur says chess. Peter says, morning boys, love what you posted on IG. Thank you. What did I post on IG that you liked? I post all kinds of obnoxious shit on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at The Real Boyce Watkins. The Real Boyce Watkins. So feel free to follow me on IG. Anisha says, I love running in the rain. It's the best weather for running. Okay. Lonnie Falk says it costs $60 to run. I know. Crazy. But we did get they did give us a $10 t-shirt that probably cost $2 to make. You can sell it for $10 at the store though. Let me see. Let me show them the shirt. Here's the shirt.
That's cool.
Now why is this called Waterfall Glen? What is...
Oh, it's the Extreme 10.
Why is it called Extreme?
Because it's a lot of hills. It's hilly.
What?
Yeah, it's very hilly. Yeah.
Did y'all hear that?
It's a training room. Yeah.
You almost making me about to go back home and go to bed.
You'll be fine. You can walk up the hills.
What was it that I told you about women deceiving men and getting them in these horrible situations? I'm kidding. What's the race benefit? The benefit is that I'm not fat anymore, and I get a chance to feel better about my health. And losing weight has been really fun, and it was great when I did a fast and I cut out white sugar, and fitting better in my clothes and just being slim and feeling good. I really like that a lot, and I think that all black men, black people period, but especially like the brothers, you got to think about your health more. I know a guy who's 27 who went to the doctor, and they were like, if you don't lose weight, you're gonna like have a heart attack before you're 30, and so you get wake up calls like that. You gotta like be smart about what you do with yourself. Quincy says, wow. Lonnie says, take your time. Hell yeah, I'm gonna take my time. I am not doing an Ironman.
It'd be so good.
Quincy says, black people need to run more. We do. We really do. There's no... we didn't see any black runners.
I saw a few.
No, you didn't.
I did. I saw a few.
What did you say, black? I saw a black girl under the tent.
I saw a black... No, it was a black lady.
Oh, really?
She was walking.
Oh, okay. Donnie D says, I want to run too. I started and loved it. Yeah, you should do it again. Do it. It's the key, like, start off real easy. Like, don't feel like you got to run the whole time. Like, jog for a little bit, then walk. Then jog until you get tired, and then walk again. And just kind of go back and forth. And you'll feel better. Like, it's a good process to kind of get started. Fanny Lou Hamer says, y'all have fun. That's an interesting name. I love it. And Jeanette, how you doing? She says, I love to. Good to see you. Tyrone Thomas, what's up, Tyrone? And Val. And Keisha Harris is driving to San Antonio. Okay. Reginald says, how many times have you run 10 miles? Once. Patrick, meditation for me when I walk or run. Yeah. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to pop in a good audiobook. When I run, that's a good... What?
You should meditate. You should not have anything.
No, I enjoy learning while I run.
Okay.
I get done and I feel like I've accomplished something as opposed to just jogging for 2 hours straight.
Silence is accomplishment too.
Silence is okay. I get full with silence pretty quickly.
Well, that's the point of it.
I'm reviewing dissertations and giving feedback, says James Jones. Okay. Reviewing dissertations. So are you a professor, James? What do you teach? Lonnie Falk. By the way, if y'all just came in, I was talking about the Charlamagne stuff earlier, but now we're just talking about life. Feel free to ask me any question. You can literally ask any question on any topic, and I'll answer it, unless it's like an irritating question, in which case I might have to tell you to go away. I'm kidding, but most questions I'll answer, and I don't care about answering them. Lonnie Falk says, I'm cleaning my house. Donnie D says, I'm always up early to clear my mind. Good for you. Corey Jackson says, Pokemon and gargoyles. Okay. I never watched Pokemon. My daughter did. Angie Unbreakable Harris, my daughter is up, so guess what? Me too. Mimi is too. Is that Mama or Mimi? Is that a package we're mailing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kimberly Seabuck's working on my dream. Good for you. For Don Farrakhan, working on the dream. All right. Keep working on it. Don't give up. Keep moving forward. Be consistent. That's how you get there. Tina says, headed to the gym. Nisi, preparing a PowerPoint presentation for tomorrow. Okay. So it's funny. I think y'all are answering questions from like 10 minutes ago. Let's see. Craig says, I was going through building my brand 103 and you chimed in. Okay. That's Black Money 103. That's one of our entrepreneurship classes in the Black Business School. It's really good. So feel free to check it out. You can get the first month free to try it out to see if you like it. That's blackmoney103.com. Also, one thing you should know if you're in the Black Business School is we have an excellent customer service team, and they love to answer questions and help you out, give you refunds, whatever it is you need. If you have a customer service issue, email support@theblackbusinessschool.com. That's support@theblackbusinessschool.com. And I want to make sure you know that, because the reason we have a 97% customer satisfaction rating is because we don't want anybody unhappy. So that means that if you come in and you jump into a class and you're like, this ain't really for me, or this was the wrong class, then we have no problem giving a refund. So make sure you write that email address down when you sign up. Let's see, is there a Poor says, is there a time Black American businesses will start business in Africa to ensure the progress of Africa? I think it's coming along. It's just going to take time. People, you're talking about the Black community where starting businesses and stuff was just not, really in our culture as much. Not some of us, yes, but a lot of us know. A lot of us really love working for white people. That's kind of what we train our kids to do. We say we hate it, but we really must not hate it, because we tell our kids to do the same thing. Let me see here. Wendy Walter says, hey, Dr. Boyce. What's up, Natasha? Lindsay Frazier. I have 2 friends who want to do that. Want to do business in Africa. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a class on that in the Black Business School. In fact, I got to get back to that. When will we have a Black Wealth Summit? The closest thing we have to a Black Wealth Summit, we have 2 things. One, we had the Power Investment Conference, which already happened in Atlanta. So that won't be till next year. We also have the All Black National Convention. The All Black National Convention is kind of like a Black People Summit. No matter what your interest is, at the convention, we kind of let people come in and do business, watch movies, network with each other, see panel discussions, have community forums. It's kind of like a catch-all. We even have classes for children, where your kids are there, they can learn about wealth building and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Keeley's, when will you start your affiliate program again? We probably won't have one, because it's very difficult to manage, and truth be told, running a business in the Black community is one of the challenges is like we'll have a bunch of Black professors with PhDs and law degrees, and people, like if you charge them more than a couple $100s for a class, people start getting all, they start having a certain reaction. Some people do. They want to say that you're a scam artist or you're a crook and stuff like that. And it's kind of unfortunate, because a lot of these people went to a white university and they literally owe $80,000, that they were literally paying $50,000 a year to learn from white people. And so my reaction is like, but these are Black people who love you, who have better credentials than the white people you learn from, and they have experience, and they can really teach you how to get your business off the ground. They can, Attorney Nicole Compton has a law degree and a JD. Attorney Tanya Nebo went to one of the best law schools in the world. Dr. Benicia Dutra is one of the few Black women on the planet with a PhD in finance. These people are better than the white people you learn from, but unfortunately there are people who just think that if you're Black, you must be inferior. So our revenue levels, it's enough where we pay lots of Black people. We have lots of people on our staff that we pay every month, but it's not the budget that we really wish we had. Like if we really could get maybe a third of the budget that white universities get or white schools get, just from Black people, we could do a lot more. So some things we can't do because you can only do as much as the community will support. So believe me, there's like a lot of stuff. Like really, if I had the budget I wanted, I would actually have a chain of schools all across the country where you could literally Black schools. I'd hire 1,000 Black teachers or 2,000 all across the country, and have a chain of schools for Black children all across the United States. The reason we're not doing it, well, because the revenue isn't there yet. Maybe one day the revenue will be, but I just want everybody to think about that, and think about how much money you spend with white businesses, and if you can spend that much, a fraction of that, with Black businesses, there's a lot more that could be done with that money. I'm a pretty smart guy. I'm not gonna say I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I'm smart enough that I can take like $100,000 and do more with $100,000 than a lot of people can do with 10 million. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, because I know how to cut costs. I know how to find talent. I know how to set up infrastructure without it being financially burdensome. But shit, sometimes it's tough, because the other thing too is that when you're Black, if you are out there, part of the reason I like being out here in public and talking is because when people see you doing well, you have certain black people who just become angry that you're succeeding. And because we see blackness as dirty and bad and evil, and especially the black man, people don't believe the black man is honest. Even a lot of black people don't, especially a lot of maybe black women who've been harmed by a black man, their father or whatever. They'll start to say terrible things about you. Oh, you're a bad person, you're a scam artist, you're a crook. And we're like, we're not scam artists. Like, my PhD is real. I taught at 5 different major universities. I've taught in China, I've taught in Europe, I've taught, University of Kentucky, Indiana University, Syracuse University, the Ohio State University, all these schools that you pay $50,000 a year to attend. I taught at those schools, and I have friends who taught at those schools, and those are the people I hired to work in the Black Business School. So you're getting like first-rate talent. You're not getting inferior talent. People, sometimes people think that it must be inferior because you're not charging me $50,000 the way the USC charged me $50,000 a year, or University of Texas charged me $50,000 a year. So you must not be equivalent. And it's like, no, we're not equivalent. We're better. We're actually better. And also, we know that it shouldn't cost you $50,000 a year to go to school. Maybe, but you should be willing to pay something, maybe $5,000 a year, or a couple $100 a month, right? And so, so building a black business, it can be really tough. It can be really tough. I can do it. Like, we can do it. It's not like we're gonna stop. Because what happens is that you have people who love you and people who hate you. And what happens is that you have to always put the people who love you first. If you respond too much to the people who don't like you, then you're doing a disservice to the people who love you and the people who have your back, the people who believe in you. And so for those who believe in the Black Business School and believe in our vision, I want to say thank you. I really mean that, because we have a dream. We just want you guys to check it out. That's why we give things away for free. We invite people in for open houses. We have open door policies where you can come in and try things out. Dr. Claude Anderson's there. You can't learn. There's no school where you can learn from Dr. Claude Anderson. Powernomics is not being taught at any white university anywhere. They don't want black people to know powernomics. They don't want black people to know how to scheme to literally make a come up and a takeover of the American economic system. There is no white university on this earth that will ever teach black people the secrets to powernomics. Why would they? Why would they be like, oh yeah, we want to create a class where we can help black people come together and make a plan where they're going to come and dominate the white power structure? They don't do that. They are the white power structure. Why would they plan their own demise? That wouldn't make any sense. But we have Dr. Claude Anderson, and we have about 20-30 hours of powernomics lectures in the Black Business School. Ain't nobody else got that. We brought in Jay Morrison, who built the Tulsa Fund that's raised $12-13 million. We had Tariq Nasheed came through and talked about how he created Hidden Colors and made $10 million off of that. We've had all kinds of lawyers and entrepreneurs and bankers and crypto experts and all different kinds of people. And so, really, I think that what I've really been trying to tell people is, like, just give it a shot. Like, just try it out. Try like a free trial or something, just to see. Like, once you get in there, you'll love it. You'll be hooked. And if you're not hooked, like, that's why we have the refund policy. It's not. I say just give it a try. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say much else about it. Let's see. Am I still confident in cryptocurrency? Yes. I've always been confident in the long-term potential of crypto, as well as the blockchain. But what I've also said from the very jump is make sure that you diversify. You must spread your money out. No investment should be your messiah. You should never look at any investment and say, okay, this is the one that's going to make me rich. No. You don't do that. You spread your money out so that if something doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. It's just life. Sometimes stuff. I had to roll the window up. It was getting water on me. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. It's stuffy in here.
Okay. Can we crack the back window or something, maybe? Okay. All right. Email, enroll me. Where's my application? Says Fannie Lou Hamer. Oh, thank you, Fannie. Well, check it out. You can go to theblackbusinessschool.com if you want to just look around and see what we got going on. I'm very proud of it. We have 67,000 students now. We have another 250,000 people that have just signed up to get updates and information. And we just, I think we've done a really good job of really sharing those secrets especially about entrepreneurship, real estate, money, etc. that people think that you have to go and spend $100,000 to learn at a university. Like, these are things that white kids, I taught so many white kids at Syracuse who are now millionaires on Wall Street. Millionaires, white and Jewish kids, Asian kids, stuff like that. And and I wanted to bring that to the black community, and that's what we've done successfully. I'm very, very proud of that. And our experts are extraordinary. Julian Gordon went to Stanford, but he didn't want to work for anybody, so he started his own business. Who was it? We had Trey Baker from Harvard. Dr. Benicia Dutra is one of the few black women on the planet. I think there's less than 10, definitely less than 12 black women on earth who have a PhD in finance. None of them are teaching black people, in terms of teaching publicly in a place other than like an HBCU where it's going to cost you $50,000 a year to attend. Dr. Dutra came out of the ivory tower, and she's teaching, and her class on real estate is $99 a month. You can't beat that, and she's made money at real estate. She's not just somebody teaching theory. A lot of professors can only tell you what's in a book. They can only tell you theory. She's actually done it too, right? And she's made a lot of money at it. So she flips houses. She can teach you how to buy your first home. She can teach you pretty much everything. So feel free to check that out if you want to. I think her class is at theblackrealestateprogram.com. That's theblackrealestateprogram.com. Attorney Tanya Nebo went to one of the top law schools in the world. She runs a law firm in Atlanta. Her hourly rate is hundreds of dollars an hour, but she answers questions for the students every Thursday on how to, and her specialization is franchising. We picked that class because having a franchise is a great way to go into business, because it's a proven business model. It's already set up for you. You don't have to figure it out. The company gives you the blueprint. So if you want to check out her class, and there's a free month for that too, if you want to do a 30-day trial, you can go to theblackfranchiseprogram.com. That's theblackfranchiseprogram.com. Lindsay says, I tried getting friends to read or discuss it, and nobody's interested. I'm on a lone journey. No, you're not. You're not alone, Lindsay. You are not alone. Remember Michael Jackson said, you are not alone. I am here with you. And not only am I here with you, but all of us are here with you. Everybody in here is here with you. Everybody in here is with you. This is your family. Like, all those the coons, they're not your family. They're not the future. They don't represent anything that you want your children to be. They don't represent anything that you're going to become. You need to be around intelligent black people who are mobilized and energized and militarized. Seriously, I'm talking about intellectually militarized. That means armed, locked, and loaded. Don't take no shit. Ready to go out here and conquer the world, ready to go out here and get it in, ready to go out here and get it done. Those are the black people you want to be around. And so what I would say to you is, I'm thinking about doing like maybe a powernomics study group or something. Maybe that'll be a good way. I know on Blag Enough, our social media platform, there's lots of intelligent black people there. That's BLAGGENUF, BLAGGENUF. So it's Blag Enough. So feel free to join there. In the classes, there's always like discussions and stuff like that. Like our professors meet with students a total of about 12 times a week. We have attorney Nicole Compton meeting with the students, attorney Demario Solomon Simmons meeting with students, attorney Tanya Nebo meeting with students, PhD doctor, real PhD doctor, not fake PhD, real PhD doctor Benicia Dutra meeting with students every week. I meet with students every week. Julian Gordon's meeting with students in the Freedom Family every week. Like, these are really great people that are really, really smart, and the classes are wonderful, and I'm just really proud, because we're better than an HBCU, we're better than a white university, we're better than all of that, and we don't charge nearly as much. We charge about 1/20th of the price. And also the other game changer that we're doing is we're educating children en masse, thousands and thousands of children. That's how black people are going to win. That's how black people are going to dominate in the next generation. Not all black people, not everybody. We can't bring everybody. The boat ain't big enough to bring every coon that wants to get on it, scratch that. Everybody that wants to get on it can get on it, but a lot of people don't want to get on it, and that's fine. But the boat ain't big enough anyway. What's going to happen is you're going to have a pocket of black people, like almost like when people came to America to settle, you had a pocket of people that left and went to the new land, right? A lot of people stayed home. They were too scared, maybe they couldn't see the vision, they were comfortable in their old situation, whatever it was. And those people that went off and discovered the new land were the ones who created the foundation of one of the great economic empires of the world. So ultimately what happens in any oppressed group of people is you have a few settlers. You have a few people, like when man goes to Mars, only a few people are going to fucking go to Mars. Everybody ain't going to want to go to Mars. People gonna be scared. They're gonna be like, no, I'd just rather stay here. It may suck here, but I don't know what's gonna be out there. You know, everybody ain't going to Mars, right? So you're not, and the thing is, you can't get everybody to go. The ship ain't big enough to bring everybody anyway. And some people ain't built for that. Some people, you just like, no, you just stay your ass at home. We're gonna go set it up. We'll take care of you. We'll hook you up, and maybe in 100 years, your great grandchildren will want to come. You know, so ultimately, we're taking black people to Mars. That's what we're doing. In the Black Business School, we are taking, and this is our Wakanda, we are taking black people to Mars. And we're not taking everybody. The boat ain't big enough, number one. The ship ain't big enough. And number two, everybody ain't built for the ride. You don't want to go to Mars with people who are mentally unstable and who can't handle a pressure situation. You don't want to go to Mars with somebody who's going to freak out the first time an engine breaks down. You when they get there and they get isolated, next thing you know, they become suicidal or homicidal. You don't want the coons going to Mars with you, because the coons going to bring that coon shit with you. When you go to Mars, you got to bring people that are on the forefront. You bring in your scientists, you're bringing your visionaries, you're bringing your explorers, you're bringing the people that know how to hold it together, you're bringing your most mentally tough people with you when you make that first trip, because everybody's not ready, right? So when I take black people to Mars, I'm looking for the families that are just ready for something different. I'm looking for people that can see a vision. I'm looking for people that believe, you know, they aren't going to weigh me down and weigh all of us down with all this goddamn negativity. Seriously, I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of hearing black people tell me all things black people can't do. Don't fucking tell me. I don't want to hear you tell me for 1 second about what we can't do. We survived the Middle Passage. We survived the worst kind of slavery in the history of all mankind. We survived 250 years of hell, and then another 150 years of Jim Crow. We survived lynchings. We survived mass incarceration. We have survived rapes, castrations, all kinds of crazy stuff. And you're going to tell me that we can't go out here and build a couple of millionaires that are going to help change the trajectory of our community. You're going to tell me that after we done did all of that we can't educate our own children. You're going to tell me after we done did all of this stuff that we can't build communities where we call the shots. You're going to tell me that after everything we done been through, everything we have overcome, everything that we have survived, that we can't go out here and compete with the white man in his shit. You're going to tell me after all of this that I can't raise a black baby to be twice as smart as a white baby. You're going to tell me we can't do that. Well, if that's what you're going to tell me, then I don't want you around me. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't need you. I don't want none of your bullshit on the ship. And I swear to God, when I wake up every day, when I'm thinking about the future, I am optimistic and excited and hopeful, because I see a beautiful future for some of y'all. I see a beautiful future for every black person who's watching right now, who believes in the power of your potential. I see a brilliant future for you and your family. Not so much where you're gonna see benefits in a couple of days. I'm not talking about overnight shit. Greatness doesn't happen overnight. Greatness doesn't, you can't have a come up in 2 weeks or in 6 months or in a year and a half. It don't happen like that. No. What I see is that if you are consistent, and all you got to do is make sure your babies are educated, make sure your kids ain't getting caught up in this coon shit, make sure that your family has a long-term economic plan, make sure you're pulling your pennies together and just doing basic stuff like learning how to invest in the stock market, which takes you 5 minutes to learn. Do those basic things, and your children are going to be very well off. Some of your children are going to be millionaires. But at the very least, your children won't be out here talking about, well, I can't get ahead because racism and the white man won't let black people get ahead. Black lives matter because it's so hard out here to be black. Well, maybe it's hard for you because when they said, you know, do you want this, do you want your child to be educated by black people, or do you want them to be educated by this white lady from the suburbs? You said, well, I need the white lady because the white lady, she know what she talking about. These niggas over here, these niggas don't know how to educate no babies. I'm sending my baby to the white lady. And then she screws up your child. And then when it comes time, when somebody says, well, do you want to go read some books, read Powernomics like this sister Lindsay was talking about earlier? Or do you want to go and learn how to do the hoopity hoop dance that everybody's doing? Or do you want to go to the club? You like, like, man, please, you too serious, man. I don't want to read you reading books all the time, always talking serious. I'm gonna go out to the club, I'm gonna get it popping, man. Where the weed at, nigga? You know, like, if you get caught up in that culture, if that's your mindset, then don't be surprised when you get left behind. Don't be surprised. Seriously, when they're promoting in mass media drug addiction and massive alcohol consumption and sexual irresponsibility amongst black males, and you fall for that, then what do you think is going to happen? You're begging to be oppressed. You're asking the world to keep you in a cage. Seriously, you're acting like an animal, so they're gonna cage you up like an animal. Seriously, like really, like what do you think is gonna happen? And then when all of the consequences come a knocking, you know, when the chips fall where they may, when the domino effect starts to happen, cause and effect, action reaction starts to occur, and it's time to pay the piper. That's when you're talking about, it's hard out here to be black. I can't get ahead. Well, maybe if you took some time to learn how to read, read a book every now and then, maybe you wouldn't have so many of these problems. Maybe if you took the time to save your money instead of running to the club or running to Popeye's Chicken or going out and buying the newest sneakers and whatever it is you're spending your money on, you wouldn't be broke like that. Now, again, it's not me trying to be mean to people or saying, oh, well, you know, y'all just stupid. It's really me saying winning in life is a straightforward process if you know what your solution is going to be. Look, if you want your kids to win in life, here's all you got to do. Number one, make sure they get a good education. Education starts at home. Stop believing that a white teacher is going to make sure your black baby is prepared for racism in America. She don't know how to overcome racism. She don't care about how to overcome racism. She is going to probably lie to your child. Make sure your child is learning from some black people too, and make sure they're learning the right stuff. Get your child an education. How complicated is that? Black people, make education the top priority in your household. You know, no, in our house, we don't sit around watching TV. We're going to read a book. You know, in our house, you're not going to sit around just learning the latest dance moves. You're going to go write me an essay. In our house, we're not going to sit around and talk about Cardi B and nonsense. We're going to talk about something intellectual every now and then. We're going to have a critical thinking discussion. I'm going to let my little daughters play chess so they learn strategic thinking, right? Not that complicated. What else? Teach them how to save their money. Teach them how to save and invest. How to save and invest. How to start a business when they're young. Stop putting all that energy into football, basketball, dance class, or cheerleading, and all this other stuff. Don't get me wrong. Do all those things if you want to do them, but those should be extra. That's extra. That's extra. That shouldn't be the primary. People will spend, I swear to God, there are people who literally will say they can't afford an after-school program for their kids. They cost $50, but will go spend $300 sending their son to football camp. Another $500 getting their daughter ready for cheerleading. Since when did learning football and cheerleading help you succeed in this world? It doesn't. It doesn't mean it's not fun. Doesn't mean it's not a great skill to have in addition to your real skill, your skill that's actually going to help you pay the bills. But that's not what's going to get you success in this life. It's not. It just doesn't work. You know, so it's not complicated. It's not complicated. You know, and what I love about it, what I'm excited about, is that there's a lot of people that are going to get it. There are a lot of people who are getting it now. I don't care where you're at. I don't care how broke you are. You could be the brokest person in this live stream right now. Don't matter. If your mind is right and you raising your kids right and you educating your kids, your children are going to have a tremendous amount of success. They're going to be wealthy. They're going to have plenty of money, but more importantly, they're going to have plenty of happiness, and they're going to have freedom. They're going to feel empowered in this world. They're not going to feel duped. They're not going to feel like victims. You know, the biggest thing that drives me crazy about the way we discuss racism or even sexism in America is that we create victims. We create people who say, well, you know, yeah, I could have spent more time reading books, but white supremacy stopped me from reading. White supremacy kept me from wanting to read books. Like, since when does white supremacy stop you from reading a damn book? White man ain't never made a law saying you can't read a book. Not since slavery. Slavery he did, but not now. You ain't a slave no more. Stop acting like one. Seriously, some of y'all forgot that slavery. Some of y'all need to know about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is when we wasn't slaves no more. But seriously, we need a new Juneteenth, because there's some people who still think that they're built to be slaves. I'm not gonna be no slave, and I'm not here for people who want to be slaves. I'm here for people that see possibility in life. You know, you got to be optimistic sometimes. Being black ain't supposed to be all doom and gloom and chaos and all that and reacting to what white people said. You know, I swear I get tired of reading some of these black news websites where I'll read a story. It'll be a headline like, white lady calls black man a monkey. I'm like, who gives a fuck what some random white lady thinks? Fuck her. Seriously, excuse my French. I'm like, I don't care what this lady thinks. I don't even know this lady ain't got no power over me. She don't pay my bills. She can't tell me what to do. She don't own nothing in my house. Why the hell do I care that she calls somebody a monkey? So what? She's a fucking monkey. Do you think she cares that I call her a monkey? No, she doesn't care. But us, we waste so much of our valuable time that we could spend building. We spend a lot of that energy reacting. A lot of our energy reacting to what somebody else done said about us. Stop waiting for white people to like you. They ain't never gonna like you. They're not built to like you. The history of European colonialism says that they've always thought you were inferior. They've always thought you were a monkey. They never saw you as equivalent. So the only way you can prove to those sons of bitches that you are equal is you go out and you compete. You read more than them. You learn more than them. You outthink them. You out-strategize them. You fight them. That's how you prove to them that you're equivalent. But you will never have a day where they're going to be happy that you somehow have defeated them. You know, again, LeBron James will never have a day where he is excited that the Golden State Warriors whooped his ass on the basketball court. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, all those guys had to get together and say, we gonna show this motherfucker. We Golden State. We're gonna just put it down on him, and he's never gonna surrender because he's a warrior. LeBron is a warrior. LeBron believes he deserves that trophy, so he's never gonna politely hand me the trophy. We got to go take that shit out of his fucking hands, and that's what you do. You got to go take the trophy out of their hands. They are never gonna hand you that trophy. They will never hand you the keys to the kingdom. They will never make you the king or the queen of the castle. They will never make you the boss. They will only make you the servant. They will only make you the clown. And some of y'all fit the servant clown model like to a T. We got black people who are built for servitude. For people like that, God bless them. Y'all go serve. We got people that's built for clowning and coonery. The black men on Instagram putting on wigs and dancing and all that. Fine, okay, you're funny because you're not a threat. That's why white people are going to love you, because ain't nobody ever going to be threatened. Ain't no warrior ever going to be threatened by a man who puts on a wig and a dress. No warrior will ever feel that he has to compete with a man who thinks he's a woman. That's just a fact. LeBron James would never feel like the Golden State Warriors were a threat if they showed up wearing tutus and Daisy Dukes and short little skirts, like and weaves down their butt. He wouldn't respect that, right? So he would say, okay, well, y'all go over there with the cheerleaders, and the real men are going to be on the court dunking basketballs. So basically, in this world, in black and for the black community, especially among the men, you got a couple of classes of men. You got the men who are just happy being servants, who are just going to sit there quietly, not make any waves, just find a way to get in where they fit in. That's cool. You got the men that want to be women, the men that want to be feminized. They want to make sure they're not a threat by being as emasculated as possible. They remove their testicles from their body and hand them over when they walk through the door, and that's fine. But then you got the other class of men that are like, no, I'm here to take the trophy. I'm here to compete for the big piece of chicken. I'm here to fight for the prize. And that's not a large percentage of the men, but the men are out there. And those are the men I talk to the best. Those are the men I communicate with the most. The other men, it's like, okay, go sit over in the corner. The real men will protect you. But the real men that are out here, I want you to just be your best. I want you to train your son to be a real man. I want you, as if you are a man, I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to educate yourself. I want you to fight for yourself. It's almost time to go, isn't it? Okay, so I gotta go. I'm about to go run this race. I'm about to do 10 miles. I'll check back in after the 10 miles is over. I'm sure I'm going to be tired, but I'm going to go fight through this 10 miles. And I love you, and I want you to believe in yourself, and I want you to be your best, and never give up on blackness. You know, again, we going to Mars. Everybody ain't going, but those of you who are going with me, I look forward to the trip. I love you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day. I'm about to go out here and get wet for 10 miles. I'll see you soon. Peace.